Pokemon ALOLAN Challenge. Chapter 6 ALOLAN Island Kahuna. Thanks a lot, Kahuna Hala, Officer Jenny said. Of course, the man responded. It's my job to solve any problems in the island may encounter. I started in amazement. This man was the island Kahuna, and he was there to help the accident that stopped Ash and Professor Kukui? Could it really be a coincidence? I'd have a clean-up crew on their way here now, Professor Jenny assured Kahuna, pointing to the pickup truck, and there they are. A group of 4 men jumped from the back of the truck. They immediately formed an assembly line. You can let them use all 4 arms to pass through logs at a time. It took only a few minutes for them to load all the logs back on the trailer. Thank you for your cooperation, Officer Jenny called out to the crowd. I took the chance to talk directly to the Kahuna. He wanted to let him know of his plans. I'm actually here for the island challenge, Ash explained. I'm well aware of that, Kahuna Hala replied. I've been waiting, the older man continued. So why don't you and I, Professor, came by sometime soon? We certainly will, sir, Professor Kukui assured him. The very next day, Ash and Professor Kukui showed up at Kahuna Hala's home. Oh, that is fast, Hala said when he answered the door. Please come in. He gave Professor Kukui, Ash, Pikachu, and Rotom-Dex a tour of the shore home. When they passed his office, Ash knew the shelf where several Z-rings were displayed. Hala noted that Ash had eyed the powerful rings. Yes, he confirmed. The Z-ring you're now wearing is one that I made. Ash was shocked. He had not realized that Kahuna Hala crafted Z-rings. You made it? He questioned. But I got it from Tapu Koko. Hala nodded stonily. I thought that might be the case. One day I noticed that one of my Z-rings could not be accounted for, he explained. I realized it was a work of Tapu Koko. Has something like that ever happened before? Ash's sister asked, curious. This is the first time Tapu Koko's ever taken a Z-ring, that's for sure, Hala answered for certainly. It appears Tapu Koko has a strong interest on you, young man. Huh? Ash was confused by Kahuna Hala's comment. I'm just talking to myself, the Kahuna responded. By this time, they had all settled down for the comfortable sofas in the Kahuna's living room. The Kahuna's Hariyama joined them. Ash decided that it's time to get down to business. Kahuna, I'd like to get a Z crystal as soon as I can. I needed it for when I battle Tapu Koko again. Again? Hala repeated. He paused for a moment. Ash, if you don't mind, I'd like you to answer a question for me. A question? For me? Ash wondered what that older man meant. I assume you know that people on this island have been troubled by a rash of wild Rattata and Raticat, am I right? Yes, sir, Ash answered. If you were the person being asked to solve this problem, Hala continued, what would you do? Ash couldn't answer right away. Professor Kukui chuckled to himself, as if he knew that Kahuna could expect Ash to tackle this kind of challenge. I know, Ash declared. I take Pikachu, Roland, and challenge them all to the battle with Maya and Ash, Hala interrupted. Are you interested in learning why the island challenge was started to make years ago? You see, it wasn't simply to make the trainers strong in battle. It was to raise your young people in such a way that they will live and protect the islands of Alola, as well as the many people and Pokemon who inhabit them. When Kahuna Hala had then made Ash thoughtful. Love all that's here and protect it, Ash murmured. Pikachu curled up on Ash's leg. Hala looked seriously at Ash. I want to look for answers that won't only lead to battle. We'll talk about the Z crystal after I heard what you come up with. Ash closed his eyes and put his hands behind his head. He tried to figure out the Rattata and Raticat problem. During my trial, Professor Kukui shared, I spent quite a long time thinking about Halak's question too. During your trial? Ash asked. Yeah, Professor Kukui confirmed. Kaunahala laughed at that. He knew Ash must be surprised that he had also been in charge of Island Challenge for Ash's teacher. Food for thought, huh? Hala smiled. Instead of rushing into things and answer things right away, why don't you take time and think it over? Ash sighed and thought about Hala's questions some more. The next day at Pokemon School, Ash was still thinking. In fact, he was thinking so much that his classmates were amazed. Ash had been thinking about something for so long, Mallow said. Her Pokemon partner, Bounsweet, was sitting on his shoulder. Incredible, Lana commented. Ash had his head down on his desk, and he was moaning in pain, the pain of thinking especially hard. Finally, Kaui couldn't take it anymore. All right, please just tell me what Kaunahala said. Ash's head was still down and his eyes were closed. Ash looked at his breath. Kaui sighed. We may even be able to help you. Ash's eyes popped open. All you have to do is let us know what he said. Lilia assured him. Ash told him everything he knew about the Rattata and Ratacat that he explained his solution could not include a traditional Pokemon battle. Lilia, who loved to research, suggested that I learn more about Rattata and Ratacat. That information may give us a clue, she offered. I believe that is my cue, Rotom said, swishing in. Ash grabbed hold of the device so he could see the screen better. He scratched his skin around his desk. Ash was surprised to see the differences in the Alolan from long-toothed Pokemon. Somehow, the Alolan forms of the mouse Pokemon seemed more menacing and fierce. Rattata and his involved form, Ratacat, Rotom began. The mouse Pokemon, a dark and normal type. When they band together, Rattata and Ratacat still flew from people's homes. Long ago, they came here to Alolan Islands aboard cargo ships and even grew their Pokemon we see today. The numbers of Rattata and Ratacat grew so large, Youngos and Gumshoes were brought to a different region to chase them off. That's it, the group of friends cheered. Chapter 7. Go Pikachu! I see, Kaunahala said to Ash when he visited the very next day. You're saying if the Youngos and Gumshoes to help us, we can all solve the problem together? Yes, sir, Ash responded. Now, that's a thoughtful and wise answer. It's my answer, too. All right, Ash exclaimed. He wondered what would happen next. Now, I must be honest and tell you my question was to test whether you had what it take you go through the actual trial itself, Hal explained. Ash was surprised to hear that. Then I should be honest and let you know to find the answer together with all my friends, he confessed. I hope that wasn't wrong. No, not at all, Kaunahala responded. Then you're searching for life's answers, we should always look to our friends for help. That in itself a very important life lesson. Ash spread a sigh of relief. Then shall we go? Hala asked. He stood up and led Ash out of the door. They soon arrived at the mouth of Great Cave. Kaunahala passed in front of the cave and informed Ash of the plan, which has several stages. There are many Youngos and Gumshoes living in this cave, he explained. They are all very strong, but there is one Gumshoe who is so amazingly powerful. It's called the Totem Pokemon. Totem Pokemon? Ash repeated. Yes, there are several Pokemon in Alola who have that name. Most of them are following the lead of the Island Guardians. As I said, trainers to undertake the Island Challenge. Hal peered at Ash to see if the young trainer was following his explanation. So Ash, your trial is to take on the Totem Pokemon in a Pokemon battle and beat victories. Then, if you succeed, I want you to chase away the Rattata and Ratacat to the aid of the Totem Pokemon. As soon as it finished, Kaunahala stepped into the moss-lined tunnel that led in the cave. But wait, Ash said, running to catch up. Why did Gumshoes team up with me? Never fear, Hala said, striding ahead. If you can earn the Totem Pokemon's respect during your battle challenge, I'll assist you in your time of need. They stepped into the giant cavern. I'll be watching. I bet a referee during your trial. Ash looked around the gray space. Lush plants grew down the walls of red rock. There were several tunnels that led deeper into the hillside. Misty sunlight streamed in through the 2 openings in the cave ceiling. It's huge, I said under his breath. For the first time, he wondered if he was prepared for his challenge. Totem Pokemon Gumshoes. Kahuna Hala's deep voice echoed through the cave. You have a trial Goer. Do your duty and bring him his trail. I'm Ash Ketchup from Pelican. Ash's voice sounded small after Hala's announcement. I'm asking you for a battle. I can hear something, Rotom Duck said. Ash and Pikachu looked around, wary. 2 Pokemon appeared in the large tunnels at the higher level. Are they totem Pokemon? Ash asked. While they have sharp teeth and appear to be fast and strong, they're not especially large. No, Ash, they're not, Hala said. They're totem Pokemon at least. You still have to battle them, however. We should now begin the Pokemon battles and make a faster trio. Ash sighed. While he would have to battle the 2 Pokemon before it would already be the 4th round. Totem Pokemon would come later. Is there any data? Ash asked Rotom. But of course, Rotom answered. Young Goose, the loitering Pokemon, and Gumshoes, the second Pokemon. Both are normal types. Young Goose has sturdy fangs and jaws, and when they evolve into Gumshoes, they get a certain tenacity and patience. Ash listened closely. In that case, Pikachu, I choose you, he shouted. Pikachu strode into position. You too, Roland! Roland bounced out of his Pokeball onto the ground. It's asleep! Rotom observed. Sure enough, Roland was snoring. Ash shot forward. Wake up! He said. He cried. Rotom's eyes popped open. The other 2 Pokemon were already irritating. All right, Pikachu, Thunderbolt, let's go! Ash instructed. Roll it and tackle! The battle was fast and furious. Both sides were fighting well. Gumshoes used Sand Attack on Pikachu. Young Goose went after Rolla to try to dive away from a third blast. With bursts of power shooting back and forth, the battle continued. Young Goose and Gumshoes created clouds of dust with their moves, making it hard to Ash's team to see. When they came at Pikachu and Roller with a double Hyper Fang attack, it distracted his partners to dodge it. You're not the only ones that can hide in your moves, Ash called it out as Roller let off a whirlwind of glowing green and reef and spun around in openness. Pikachu, Iron Tail! Ash commanded. The Roller soundlessly snapped behind Gumshoes and Young Goose. Yes! Yes cried. Roller, tackle, let's go! Pikachu and Roller wore down the other 2 to move after move. At last, Hala announced it was over. Young Goose and Gumshoes are able to battle! The battle had been so instant, it was hard to believe that it was just the first round of Ash's trail. The rumble filled the cavern. The sounds of massive footsteps vibrated off the ground and stone walls. The footsteps was followed by a mighty roar. Ash, Pikachu, and Roller stood close together nervously, waiting for the next opponent. Chapter 8. Totem Pokemon. There, Hala declared. The Gumshoes is truly a totem Pokemon. Ash gazed at his next opponent with amazement. It's so big! He exclaimed. Unreal, was Rotom Duck's opinion. This one is 3 times the size of the previous Gumshoes. Ash, Pikachu, and Roller was not only overwhelmed by Totem Gumshoe's size, they were soon overwhelmed by his power too. Pikachu's Thunderbolt of Totem Gumshoes whacked away with frustration. That Gumshoe's speed is immeasurable, Rotom Duck reported. Roller raced in and used tackle to distract Gumshoes while Pikachu recovered, but Gumshoes picked up the rock and attacked Roller too. Ash raced to Roller, sighing. Thanks a lot, Roller. You got Pikachu out of jam, he said, rubbing his partner's soft head. The brave Pokemon was stunned. Take a rest, return. Ash said rolled disparate inside a Pokeball. And once Ash had to get his head back in the battle, he took a stance and called to Pikachu. Pikachu, Electro Ball! Pika, Pika, Pika! Pikachu focused his power and shot a mighty pulsing Electro Ball at Todd and Gumshoes, but Gumshoes simply knocked the ball out of the way and returned to the stand attack. Pikachu, no! Ash yelled, seeing his partner tumble and skid across the cave floor. Pikachu grunted, but got right back up. Ash was determined too. Pikachu, use Quick Attack! Ron was surprised by Ash's call. I don't think use Quick Attack will have any effect at all, the device yelled, but Pikachu was already in action. Pikachu bounded ahead when Toad and Gumshoe sprang a stand attack and instructed, Pikachu, use a stand attack! Now! Pikachu raced through the stand using a cover, a whizzing sound and confusing Toad and Gumshoe. Now! Ash yelled again. Pikachu started landing quick attack moves and again and again and again. Once Toad and Gumshoes were exhausted, Ash directed Pikachu to use Thunderbolt. Pikachu began to glow in instant energy and zoomed through Toad and Gumshoes. Pikachu! The little Pokemon cried. Toad and Gumshoes grunted and toppled onto the ground with a crash. The trail is over. I declare that the challenger Ash Ketchum wins! Kahuna Holland announced it. I celebrated with Pikachu and Rotom-Dex, but his attention was soon drawn to Toad and Gumshoes. They were still on the ground. Toad and Gumshoes! Ash approached the giant Pokemon. Rotom-Dex lingered behind, worried that her son safe, but Ash went right up to Gumshoes and leaned over it. Toad and Gumshoes, are you right? Trying to get up, Toad and Gumshoes pushed Ash out of the way. But with his other hand, it offered something to Ash. Gumshoes, Gumshoes, Gum. The totem Pokemon said solemnly. Ash reached out. A Z crystal? It was a Z crystal. For me? He asked. Really? Gumshoes, shoot, Gum. The totem Pokemon says Ash to take it. Wow, Ash said. Thanks a lot. I stared at the magical gem in his hand. It was white with a single black swirl. It was a marking meant as for the normal type Z move. It's a Z crystal and it's all mine, he cheered. Watching this exchange, Kahuna Hana was impressed. It was very rare for a totem Pokemon to give a challenger a Z crystal, and he believed Ash must be a most unusual trainer. Even though Ash was thrilled to have earned the Z crystal, he hadn't forgotten what Hala had told him at the final stage of his challenge. Excuse me, Ash said, looking up at Toad and Gumshoes. I was wondering if you'd help us chase after Rattata and Rattata. Toad and Gumshoes nodded and agreed. Getting rid of the pesky long-tailed graded Pokemon was far easier than the earlier stages of Kahuna Hala's trail. The next day, a group met Officer Jenny and all warehouse and the Rattata and Rattata had been feasting. With the help of Toad and Gumshoes and his allies, Ash and his team was able to chase all the unwanted Pokemon away. Professor Kukui and Officer Jenny couldn't believe how easy as new Pokemon friends defeated the nasty mouse Pokemon. As Kahuna of the island of Malamale, I'm very happy to verify that you have indeed passed the trail, Hala told Ash. Your next step is an island grand trial. Ash, I'm really looking forward to it and to see a Z-move in the battle with my very own eyes. I'm really looking forward to it too, Ash admitted. Ash looked just as thrilled. Pikachu looked just as thrilled. Of course, the grandchild meant battling Kahuna Hala himself. Ash knew it would be a tremendous challenge, but he was ready for it. Chapter 9, Grand Trial. Ash's good work with Totem Gumshoes and his allies ended up in Malamute newspaper, and he earned a certificate of appreciation from Officer Jenny. It's very exciting, but for Ash, it is all part of his journey to become a Pokemon Master. His next big step was a grand trial, and Ash didn't want to waste any time. He planned to battle Kahuna Hala the very next day. The grand trial included a certain amount of ceremony. Part of the ceremony was for both opponents and mediate together at a temple called the Ruins and Comfort, which was deep in the forest. Ash and Pikachu and Hala's partner, Hariyama, was there too. Today we will perform a grand trial battle with our young challenger Ash. I now ask Tapu Koko, guardian of comfort, to bestow upon the power of Alola of all the islands. Please, Tapu Koko, Ash added. This will be my grand trial with Kahuna Hala, so I want you to watch it. The two future opponents closed their eyes and remained silent. Ash had a hard time staying still. His arms felt stiff and his foot itched, but he tried to concentrate for Tapu Koko. Ever since the Island Guardian had given him the first crystal, Ash had felt the bond with the mystical Pokemon. True, he wanted to one day be able to battle the powerful Pokemon again, but he also wanted to be worthy. He wanted to believe that Tapu Koko recognized something special in him. After a while, Kahuna Hala chuckled to himself. You can move now, Ash, he said. Do you think Tapu Koko heard us? Ash asked Kahuna. I'll say there's a good possibility Tapu Koko heard us, Ash replied. As Island Guardians go, Tapu Koko follows his own path. At that moment, there was a shrill coo that echoed through the leafy forest. Ash was certain that their ceremony had a special guest. After their medicine, Ash and Hala met with Professor Kukui and Rotom Dex at the outdoor battle area. There's a simple stone battle place without stands or furniture, surrounded by palm trees. Alright, Ash, Professor Kukui coached him. One thing before your grand trial begins, do you know the correct poses to use as normal type C move? The professor's question referred to the special Z crystal that Ash had received from Totem Gumshoes. It allowed him to do just up to several kinds of C moves. I sure do, Ash assured his teacher. We'll practice it in seconds nature, right, Pikachu? Pika! Pikachu agreed. Yeah, he's correct, responded Rotom Dex. Way to lock and master your Z move, the professor said. I can't wait to use it, Ash replied. When you use your Z move, Professor Kukui advised, both you and your Pokemon expend a large amount of energy. So the way you, Pikachu, and Roland are now, your Z move should be quite tiring. Ash listened closely. The important thing is when I use it, is that right? He confirmed. Exactly, Ash, Professor Kukui said. We're ready, Hala. It's truly an honor to battle you, Ash and Kahuna Hala said at once. And the grand trial began. Ready to go, Roland? Ash asked. I choose you. Rondex was certain Roland would be asleep when he appeared from the Pokeball, but Roland was wide awake and ready to battle. Crabrawler, come out, Hala said. Summoning his first Pokemon, Crabrawler was a low-to-the-ground Pokemon with 4 legs and 2 mighty pincers. Crabrawler? Asked question. Rotom? My greatest pleasure, Rotom replied, pulling out the data. Crabrawler, the boxing Pokemon, a fighting type. Crabrawler is always aiming to be a number 1. It'll guard its weak spots with its claws in battle and throw punches while looking for an opening. Since Roland was a fighting type, it is a good match for our side. Great, Ash replied, preparing himself. At once Hala killed his first shot. Crabrawler used Bubble Beam. Ash asked Roland to dash and then use Peck. Roller's first moves proved successful, but Konohana soon picked up an edge on Roller's tactics and countered them well. Crapola used his strong, sharp claws to grab Roller's mid-attack. Then with Bruiser Sting, Crapola could swing Roller round and around and flying other Pokemon high into the sky, nearly stunning it. As the fight went on, Crapler's attack power only increased. "This one's strong," Ash mumbled after Roller's refusal cut move didn't do anything damage to Crapler at all. "I think you know by now that my Pokemon are trained far beyond you used to, my young ass," Konohana declared. Watching Professor Kukui had to agree. Konohana's Pokemon were trained to the top of their abilities. Ash felt bewildered. What could he do? One move might catch Hala and his mighty Crabrawler off guard. Just then, Roller fluttered down near Ash's shoulder, surprising him. "Ah, stop!" Ash cried. "You're always showing up in that way and I have no clue." Ash suddenly stopped and smiled at Roller. His salty Pokemon helped him come up with a plan. "Okay, Roller," Ash told his teammate quietly. "You're going to use Refend one more time. But you'll scare Crappier when you do it." Roller seemed to understand at once. He released a Refend as soon as it started to dive toward Crappier. The glowing green leaves roared in a forceful wind aimed right at Crappier. Hala watched it, confused about why Ash could try the same move again. He called for the attack that had been so successful against the Leafface last time. "Crapper Bubble Beam," he called. Crapper's move hit the Leafface head on, creating a giant hazy cloud. But when the cloud cleared away, Crapper could not find Roller. Roller sneaked up right behind and Ash ordered peck, peck, and more peck. Roller's attack were working. Crapper was too exhausted to dodge. "Now that's effective," Woodondex cheered. Hala ordered a power-up punch. "Crapper, grab Roland and use Spirit Swing. Be careful, Roland." After advice, "Tackle, let's go." At the exact moment that Crapper lifted his claw, letting out at his guard, Roland aimed a tackle that sent the fighting type Pokemon flying. Crapper landed with a thud. Professor Kukui rushed over to check on Crapper's condition. "Crapper is unable to battle," he called out, but the battle was still far over. Chapter 10, Final Battle. Konohana returned Crapper to his Pokeball. "You battled valiantly," he told his teammate. Then he read himself for the reminder of the Grand Trial. Back on Ash's side of Arna, they're having a small celebration when Woodondex realized that Roland has fallen asleep. Ash tried to wake his teammate, but it was no use. And his exhausted Suprema's showing in the battle with Crapper. Ash slid and got out of Roland's Pokeball. "Roland, you really did an awesome job, but I can take it over here." After Roland was safely returned, Ash looked at Pikachu. Konohana had already tapped Hariyama as the next Pokemon. Woodondex shared the data. Hariyama, the orange-dressed Pokemon, a fighting type. Hariyama's impressive bulk is actually all muscle. His muscles are flexed and they are hard as a rock. It is said that one hit from Hariyama can send a 10-ton truck flying. "I'm counting you, buddy," Ash told Pikachu's partner jump on his shoulder. "I choose you!" Pikachu pounced at the ground as Hariyama grunted a challenge. Hariyama easily deflected Pikachu's first move from Iron Tail and Fake Out. Followed quickly by Knockoff, Rotom, and Professor Kukui agreed that it was a smart move combination. Pikachu was determined, but Electro Ball didn't do a thing. Hariyama countered with Orange Dress and then kept throwing the dress, battling Pikachu back and forth. Pikachu took a huge amount of damage. Even when his lip and by Hariyama and landed a direct hit on Thunderbolt, but the move had no effect. His only remaining move was a Z move, but he also knew that he needed to choose the right time to use it. On the other end of the arena, Kahuna had decided that it is Hariyama's time. Hala called from Belly Drum and moved the max on his Pokemon strength, but it uses up a lot of stamina. And about that, here we go, do it! And once Hala and Hariyama began to make the same graceful but power moves, sliding their legs and the air, stomping their feet and flexing their arms. Is that Z move? Asked out loud. Correct, declared Hala, and make the wheels make sense. Malamali and Tafu could go as one. He paused and took a deep breath. Then Hariyama began throwing fury punches. I am the Kahuna. This is a moment when our strengths became one. Pikachu used quick attack as distracted. That's the Z move. Pick it! Pikachu ran straight at Hariyama. All out pummeling, Hala commanded. Let's go! Pikachu wreaked hell on, dodging the constant attacks from Hariyama. His final blast landed, sending Pikachu tumbling. Luckily, Pikachu recovered quickly, as knew he needed to deal some damage too. So he devised a combination that Pikachu quick attack one more time! This time, Pikachu circled around Hariyama, confusing the much larger Pokemon. There's Iron Tail! When Pikachu zapped Hariyama's ankle, the armchair's Pokemon dropped to his knees. Hariyama took damage of that, Rotom-Dex announced. Well, I guess I took a combination to find a compensation. Professor Kukui nodded. Great job, Pikachu, asked here. At that moment, he knew the time had come. Now it's our turn! Ash and Pikachu both crossed their arms and electric poles began to crackle around them. As the steering glowed with power, the two began their spins and moves to the roof and the mystical energy at the ring. What's happening? Pikachu and I are becoming one, and that's making us stronger than either one of us, Ash cried. Here you go, full power now! Pikachu took off a bolt, swinging smoke in his trio. Breakneck blast! Ash cried. Hariyama had no time to get out of the way. Pikachu came in like a comet and braced center with a tail frame. It was a direct hit. That is awesome, Pikachu. We use a Z move! Ash could hardly believe it. Professor Kukui is a demonstrated opponent. Malamali Kahuna Halas Hariyama is unable to battle, he said. With me, the winner of the Malamali Grand Trail is the challenger Ash Ketchum. Ash wins the trail! Hooray! Rotom celebrated. Kahuna Hala thanked Hariyama as he returned the Pokemon to his Pokeball. Then he turned to Ash. I thoroughly enjoyed your splendid battle, young Ash. You and Roland and Pikachu gave it everything you had. Thank you very much, sir. Ash replied. Pikachu! cheered Pikachu. As far as your Z move, Hala continued, it overflowed with the joy of accomplishment and marveled at feeling your youthful yet experienced aura. Ash smiled. The Kahuna liked to speak in foreign language, but Ash could tell was a spirit completement. So as a Malamana Island Kahuna, I hereby proclaim that Ash Ketchum has passed the Grand Trail. All right, Ash exclaimed with a clenched fist. Good for you, the Kahuna said, but please don't forget to take this. Then he held out his hand and Ash got a glimpse of a Z crystal. It's sure fine in him, Z. With this Z crystal, you'll be able to use a fighting type Z move. Awesome, thank you, Ash replied. Before he could take the Z crystal, a high call trailed over the trees, and there was a rush of wind that was all around. What is that? Ash wondered. Could it have been Hapu Koko? Professor Kukui said. I'm so fast I have no data, Rotom stated. When Kahuna Hala looked back at the Crystal understood at a change. I can't be. An electrumsy? Asked Dad, looking at the gem. That looks like just the one I got from Papa Coco. Fascinating, Holly exclaimed. In all of my experiences, it's the first time Papa Coco has taken so much interest in a challenger. Eventually, I learned why. For now, I believe that Electrum Z belongs to you. Take the sea crystal and use it with wisdom. I will, Ash promised. This sea crystal is all mine, an Electrum Z. That night, Kaona Hala hosted a grand celebration for Ash and his friends from their Pokemon school. After all, without their help, Ash might not have learned the secret of banishing the Rattata and Rattata. That had been just one stage of his island challenge. Each accomplishment had been part of the adventure, and with each step, Ash was discovering more about all he would learn on his journey becoming a Pokemon Master. The end. Thanks for listening. Please subscribe me and have a great day. Merry Christmas!